Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So, I feel like the title of this video is probably going to get a lot of hate, a lot of negative comments, but just listen to what I have to say before you make your mind up. So, let's get right into it.
I tell you, sneaky fat, smash, sneaky fat, smash.
2018, it is October, so the SEMA event is going on right now. I wish I could be there. I've really wanted to go. I say every year I'm going to go, but I never end up being able to go because I got to work and make money to fund this heavy-ass thing right here. So, typically, this is the time that everyone releases new parts, some new concepts that are going to come out. So Chevrolet has released their COPO 2019 Camaro drag pack that will be coming out next year. And they decided to give it 3 different options. So I'm going to pull those up. So if you guys don't know, these drag pack cars are released usually with really limited numbers. So for the Camaro, this is their 50th anniversary, so they're only selling 69 of these due to the 1969 Camaro. So they want to keep the legacy, so they're only doing 69 of these, and there's no VIN numbers, they're only serial numbers because these are not streetable cars. They're strictly just to race against like the Cobra Jet and the drag pack in the factory stock class. So, sorry, I'm reading what new engines they are. I just read it, but so the new standard engine is going to be a 427 cubic inch LSX. The next is the naturally aspirated 302 cubic inch LT based engine, and the most powerful option obviously will be a LSX that's only a 350 cubic inch, but it is supercharged with a Magnuson blower, which is kind of weird because the Cobra Jet and the Challenger drag pack are now using the Whipple. But it looks like the Chevy is still going to stick to the Magnuson. Typically these cars go within like the 100 to 120,000 range, and like I said, they're super limited. So I just read they're only making 69 of these. But it's really cool because it is the 50th anniversary. Now, what kind of rustled everyone up and what kind of got me thinking this morning when I read this article was that Chevy also released, now this is just a concept, so it's nothing, nothing's confirmed, nothing's actually going to happen. I mean, a concept usually turns into something though. So I think it'll actually happen eventually, but what they released was an electric version of a drag pack. Now, let's go back and remember what drag packs are meant for. They're meant for drag racing. They're strictly street-looking vehicles that are only used at the track for drag racing purposes. So, for instance, the Challenger drag pack looks just like my car, but with the suspension setup, the interior setup, and the wheels and tires and everything, it's only suitable for drag racing. It has, you know, Lexan windows, it's got a full roll cage, there's no stereo, there's no AC, there's no power steering. It's pretty much gutted inside. It's got 15-inch front and rears, which that's what I have, but it's made to be light as possible, so it's factory looking. However, you cannot drive them on the street because they do not have VIN numbers and they're not streetable vehicles. And that's kind of what makes up the class. So you have the Challenger drag pack, you've got the Ford Mustang Cobra Jet, and then you have the Chevrolet Camaro, the COPO. And so what Chevrolet released at SEMA today, or I think it was yesterday, whatever, but was an electric version. Now, I just don't know why they would do that. Now, I see the reason why they would do that for like a regular everyday driver because, you know, gas mileage and all this crap with the EPA and whatever. Don't even want to get into that. But to change a drag pack into an electric car. Now, I get they want to kind of be out of the box. They want to be, you know, they want to take initiative and be the first one to do it. But come on, really, a drag pack that's an electric car? I mean, here's the thing with electric cars, okay? And this is what scares me, is that everything eventually is going to go electric, and I'm sure it will. It's like we were talking over the weekend that manual transmissions, those are hard to buy now too. And so our buddy Rigo, that's the reason why he bought a manual Hellcat, was because eventually you're not going to be able to get a manual version of a car. And that's the same thing with the V8s. Eventually there will be a time, I'm sure, where new cars, you probably won't be able to get a V8 anymore because of the stupid emission crap that's going on. And so is Chevrolet making a drag racing car into an electric vehicle already? Like, how does that not start the conversation of just getting rid of V8s altogether? I think this is the slow, and it has been going on for a while, obviously, with Tesla coming around and everyone else getting into electric vehicles, but I feel like it's slowly going into transition of the electric cars. Now, I'm sorry, but me, personally, I like to tinker with shit. I like to modify it. No, I'm not an engine builder. I could never build my own engine, but I like to modify, do bolt-ons, some grinding, fuck up the car here and there, whatever. But I like to tinker with cars, and you know, you talk about buying one of these electric cars, like, what are you gonna do to modify it? What are you gonna do? Upgrade the battery? Put some thicker cables on it? Like, there's not much you can do. It's gonna be like you buy the car and it is what it is. Now, the drag pack, that's kind of the point of those, is that you can buy them from the factory as a drag racing car, set up fully for drag racing, and you don't have to do anything to it. Now, you can modify them, you can adjust them. You're gonna have to be able to adjust the suspension, the tires, the wheels, all that stuff based on the track. You know, turn up the power, turn down the power, like Jeff Turk. He drove Blackbird, the Challenger last year, drag pack, and you know, he had to tune his car based on the altitude and elevation and all that. And you've got an electric car. It's like, what do? You just drive the same car every time. And it's like here, it's like, oh, I want to go to the track, I want to run faster times. What are you going to do? It's an electric car. It's not going to change anything. So really, the whole purpose of this video is for me to bitch, really. But it's really to say, is the V8 really going away? Like, is modern muscle going away? You know, I feel that, and people may disagree, but I feel like the Hellcat, when Dodge released that, it kind of brought back that muscle car era from back in the day when everyone was competing at which manufacturer had the biggest balls and who would make the most horsepower and do the craziest shit. And, you know, so they released the Hellcat, then Chevrolet comes out with the ZL1, then Ford does nothing. They released a GT350, which couldn't even compete. I mean, it was more of a track car. And then Dodge comes out with the Demon, and so Chevrolet says, all right, and they come out with the ZR1, and Ford still, I don't know what they're doing. They're supposed to be releasing a GT500. But the point is that the three main manufacturers, Ford, GM, and Dodge, are competing against who can make the bigger V8, who can go faster, who can have the most horsepower, who can be the loudest. And it's kind of like it was back in the day when it was who can make the most horsepower, be the fastest, be the loudest. And that's the fun of it. And you kind of take away from that, you take away all of that when you put in electric motors. There's no fun in it. And like, I think it's cool that Chevrolet is releasing it as a concept deal. But if they actually put that into fruition, like they actually release an electric drag pack of all things, like, is that the start of the conversation of the V8s eventually all going away? Now, we know with emissions and the EPA and all that crap, you know, they're getting stricter on everything. We've got this stupid shit on our diesel trucks that we have to run around with. We've got the most ridiculous emission laws, and eventually the stuff will go away. People are going to keep pushing, and as soon as the manufacturers give in, it's just like, it's a matter of time, to me, is what it seems like. So I think it's a cool idea, it's a cool concept, but I hope they don't actually go through with selling an electric drag pack. Like, one of my favorite things is going to the drag strip and smelling race gas and hearing just the lope of a V8 idle. I mean, one of our buddies, Skylar, he's got a cammed Z06, and God, I just love the way that thing sounds. Like, there's nothing that beats the sound of a cammed V8. And you guys want to drive around electric cars where you can't hear anything? Like, oh my gosh. Everyone's just become a bunch of pussies is what it really is. Like, excuse my language, but damn. Who doesn't like going to the drag strip, listening to loud-ass cars do big smoky burnouts and smell like race gas when they leave? I just don't get it. I don't get the whole electric car thing. I never will. I will never own one. It's boring. I want to fix my shit up, and I like to be loud and obnoxious. I'm sorry. That's just what it is. And that's why my Hellcat is where it is today. And I don't know, I'm just a car guy though. I don't just like Hellcats. I like Corvettes, I like Camaros, I like Mustangs. I even am a huge JDM fan. I really like imports. And this whole electric car thing though is just getting out of hand. And yeah, I just saw that article on the Chevy Camaro and it pissed me off. So I don't think Dodge would ever do something like that unless everyone started going that way. So hopefully not everyone starts going that way. And who wants to drive a drag car that has an electric motor? That defeats the whole purpose. Come on, man. Shit. This is America. So, I just want to talk to you guys today about that. And really excited for what Mopar is going to release. I'll probably make a video on that. But it looks like it's like a 67 to 70 CUDA, something like that, with the 426 supercharged is what we're guessing. So, I'll make a video on that when it comes out. Everyone that's out at SEMA, hopefully you guys are having an awesome time. I wish I could be there. I would say I'll go next year, but I say that every year and I don't end up going, so who knows. But if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Let me know your guys' thoughts below. Do you think the V8 and the American muscle cars are going away? Or do you think, or do you think it's just begun? Or are electric cars gonna take over and we're all gonna have to walk around with frickin' biohazard suits eventually? Who knows? Make sure you guys always comment, like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and Snapchat at Bambi39, and we'll see you guys on the next one.